Hello, I am Diane Peterson. I am from www.gqexecutivelifestyles.com. GQ Light is our logo. And today I want to talk to you about the book called Waycraine. I'm the author of the book Waycraine and two other books, Bosom Tight and The Esquire Vengeance Callbait. But today I want to talk to you about Waycraine. In the book Waycraine, it talks about the time of a scientist who was named Albert Einstein from the Mortal States. He invented a machine that resembles the Philadelphia, Pennsylvania bus called SEPTA.org. Only Mr. Einstein renamed his project for space intervention the Orchid. The author of the book, Diane Peterson, is by genealogy related to his wife at the time, Dr. Diane Jane Wayman, who assisted him in many details pertaining to this rocket and space vessel. The thriller happens when wartime duties calls for the scientist and doctor to go after a wealthy relative who is being thrown out of their family only because of wartime methods of Waycraine orders. This spectacular regime has now come to an end, and with it are millions of English assets by hedge lyrics. The evidence of wartime, a train that removed their grandfather, who was still alive and a store owner, who now leaves behind a dark secret. Where did the train go? The scientists found a small child's grave and a casket welded over the train's tracks. It broke out into a space journey. Albert Einstein believed the train took flight beyond fabric space. The excitement of what happened when this family actually goes after their relative and what they encountered is overwhelming. It is an adorable story of children, their toys and beliefs in such a clean oil and old family culture, including relatives. He embraced through the guideline of an unknown Federation captain. For instance, relative Bye-Bye Baby-O. Bye-Bye Baby-O held his cup to a cloud that formed ice cream. His mama didn't have to buy him an ice cream cone that day, nor his daddy. Some would say Papa didn't have to buy it. It is now Waycraine. Bye-Bye Baby-O is Waycraine. What happened to the cloud that forms ice cream? Is it Waycraine as well? You know, you think in terms of your keys, your car keys getting lost, your pocketbook or your wallet. These days you can clap your hands and a signal or it plays a jolly tune and you can find your keys, or call your cell phone and you can reach your other cell phone somewhere around. It makes a noise. But when you lose your relative, you lose someone you love and care about, someone you're not going to see again, someone still living through wartime Waycraine methods. You're never going to see him again. Yet, if you take the method of going through the Blackstock Major's office, where are they? You write a confirmation. You have to have these things to go and see your relatives now. Your bank account, what did they say? Well, in this case, this gentleman was named Bart Simpson. He says, it takes a right now God in order to reach me through Waycraine methods, or by reaching Waycraine methods, is the way to reach right now God. That is exactly what he said. And I would say it the other way. It takes a right now God. He said, by reaching Waycraine, you can reach it right now God. That was the last thing he said. He wouldn't give up reaching. His eyes were drooping into his bone. I mean, these people were comical and adorable. The last of the baby family that we ever saw. I want to read to you a couple of pages from the book Waycraine before the Einstein family gets involved and goes after. If you have a little time, I'm just going to read you a couple of pages. Waycraine, Chapter 1, written by Diane Peterson. The dawn was rising slowly. The earth opened up. All of a sudden there was a sound coming out of the ground in Fort Bragg, Italy, old Manchichiman territory. There came a scream out loud. Out! It was the United States Supreme Court Corrections Officer for blind merchandising. We are going to raise Cain if this places an underway crane push for blind merchandising in 2 hours. No one is going to hear from you again. That is what I am seriously going to push against you and take your toys out of your brain and steal you for a child. If you dare take a look at me wrong, I'll take you over my knee and spank you. You are on my last nerve. Get them off of the streets of the United States Blind Merchandising Corrections Officer in helmeted black uniform. The streets of Fort Bragg, Italy were clustered everywhere. There was a man who had a toy, and his name was SpongeBob. He was a big boy toy with big eyes and a huge square face. He works with Big Bart Simpson. He works for Toys R Us. He works as a SpongeBob toy. He'll say, "Get out of my store." I wouldn't dare have another job. I am your trainer. I don't like people who don't like people who don't like me with SpongeBob. I carry him everywhere. SpongeBob is a robot toy. He's fast, but he doesn't pay out dollar bills for anything but Baby-O, who is a rich man, with madness in his blood of rich people, who are wealthy and play with toys, and they are us. They describe themselves to be. Baby-O has 2 big fine eyes which droop in the face, and they cry for food. Anything hates being called a Calhoun for a toy. That is the worst statement for anyone to tell Baby-O. All of a sudden Bart Simpson said, "Get off my property. I'll tell Kenny Howard Holding Earth Equator 125 regime you are taking me away from my life. I live here with my relatives and forget it." It was the worst thing he ever said to him, that man with 2 sticks in his hands. "Get me out of here? I'll bust you in the face," and that was it. Baby-O suffers from delusions of grandeur, said the doctor, standing next to the store. He doesn't see good, but loves to smell good, and he doesn't work good. Okay, out you go, Baby-O. It's over. No more Baby-O. For the olden day extreme Baby-O, war is real. It is the old Cygnus operator for the Baby-O 151 war. Everybody aboard Depenok. Train going to level 1 for Baby-O to live no more with us. Baby-O is to be seen as is by law. Except you have the right of confirmation and the text from the Jordan office saying we have to come and get you. People came from everywhere. As the day progressed, to see men who were from the regime offices. They were in military clothing. Everyone came to see the last of their relatives. As the world would never again be known before, these comical, caring people who lived here, and yesterday, months and years, called the olden day extreme babyo, now Waycraine from blood existence, of their people in history, now made to board a huge metal train which resembles a gigantic earth one made of steel, which tunnels its way into the earth. You won't be able to see your grandfather anymore unless you have the Blackstock Majority's office. Then you must have the right of confirmation. Suddenly he aimed a weapon that shoots out plastic. It covered the area where the train was leaving. People were outraged. They threw animals on them. They threw alligators and lizards at them, snakes as well as the train was taking off. They ripped the entire plastic down. Suddenly a gorgeous Oriental woman appeared to the military officers. She pulled the glass slowly out of her briefcase. She offered them opium. Several of the military officers' friends accepted it. She had crack cocaine. She said it was pure. They snorted it in front of the train baby I was on. Too late, she said in a low voice, dangerously. The train closed. The military officers jumped onto the outgrass hooks of the train moving away. The angry people who still continued to throw animals at them watched him holding onto the train for as long as they could. Then the military officers let the train go, now in full speed of a terrible thunderous moving sound of slapping, crackling lightning, combined with the shadow of a trembling earthquake, steel grinding into the earth, crashing through the earthquake, crashing through the rocks. This is what I want to tell you. That Albert Einstein did go up to the train tracks. The tracks went underground, and where it went, it broke out into a space studies, which led him to go on that long journey. So what I want to say to you is that if you have time, you put your feet up, enjoy your favorite beverage, warm chocolate or Coca-Cola, whatever your favorite drink is. Relax. Take time. Think about someone you love, or is it your favorite song, or your favorite book, or your favorite teacher? What happened to people when they're Waycraine? They're no longer here because of regime. A regime disappeared, a whole regime, several regimes. I want you to pick up the book Waycraine, and I want you to read about this scientist, this navigator in space, what he went through with his family, and see if you could imagine yourself standing there with him. How would you feel if you met an old grandfather who was still alive and living, yet from another culture, long ago, and yet the keepsakes of the family kept going on through a Waycraine. A Waycraine method, a Waycraine notice, whatever it took. Keep me in mind. I'm going to be putting out a couple other books, and I hope you will take time to at least try to skim through it and see if you would like it. If you are taking a trip somewhere, you won't be let down through this thriller and suspense. I really want you to enjoy yourself. You have a nice day. Goodbye.